Good morning, welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Friday, TGIF, April the 3rd, and we're here to look at the rest of the cozy mysteries that were published this week. Because we started on Monday, did a little bit more on Wednesday. These are the last batch. Lena says, good morning. Well, good morning, Lena. How you doing? She says, I am good. Good. I'm not sure what I want to read today. I will be reading Cloud Cuckoo Land by Anthony Doerr. Okay. I'm also reading Center Ice by Julia Connors. These are some good choices. And she says hello to Mary and Bobby. And Elena says, how was your birthday, Bobby? I think it's in a couple weeks. Elena says, I think Center Ice is all about ice skaters and playing hockey together as a team. Oh, that sounds like fun. Mary says, good morning, PK and Elena. Happy Friday. Foggy here in Virginia this morning, but not too cold. Oh, I'm glad. Fog's kind of pretty, though, if you don't have to, be out in it. Do I have work full day today? Yes. Hope you can take a little time off. It'd be nice. I did kind of float the idea yesterday because a lot of businesses are actually closed today, which is surprising. But we got to stay open, or we hear about it. And did you say what you're going to be doing for Easter? I can't remember. I apologize if you didn't. I can't remember. So I believe we did 2 purloined pillows. And I think we are here. Gingerbread and grudges. I think so. With Cookies thriving and the town preparing for its beloved Christmas market, the season should be filled with gingerbread, twinkling lights, and small town cheer. Instead, when a well-known local woman turns up dead, old grudges and long-buried secrets begin bubbling to the surface. As gossip spreads and suspicion falls in every direction, Cookie finds herself drawn into another dangerous investigation, one that threatens not just her bakery, but the future of Blue Ridge itself. With her loyal best friends by her side, a mischievous cat underfoot, and a growing list of suspects, Cookie will have to untangle the truth before this Christmas becomes one the town will never forget. In Blue Ridge, the holidays may be merry, but murder is always on the menu. And I forgot to click on it, so give it its moment. Because apparently I need some more coffee. Mary says, not doing anything special, no family coming or me going, not a problem. Hope you get to spend some time with family. Well, I'll be visiting my mom on Sunday morning like I usually do. But otherwise, no. We are also having a quiet holiday. However, it is also Passover, and I still have to do my annual watching of the 10 Commandments because I love Lusty Busty and Baxter. And my absolute no comparison favorite musical is Jesus Christ Superstar, so I need to watch that. The Last Valentine by Jenna St. James, 18th in the Kara Hilder mystery series. This is a crossover series from some other authors. It's Valentine's Day in Mystic Cove, and more than love is in the air. Kara and Zane have finally set a wedding date, and Alfred has gone full steam ahead with the planning. The town is buzzing with hearts, flowers, and far too much pink, but not everything is as perfect as it seems. When a group of longtime friends receive anonymous Valentine's Day cards that feel less romantic and more like warnings, old fears resurface and paranoia sets in. Then one of them turns up dead. Suddenly, a shared past becomes the center of a murder investigation. Can Kara and Zane catch the killer before he or she gives out another deadly Valentine? Gets Into Everything by Carolyn L. Dean, 3rd in the Troublemaker Club. Dorothy Keene's Bakery, the Cozy Cup, is a warm cinnamon-scented heart of Hazenville. It is the one place where locals can escape the winter chill, trade town gossip, and indulge in the world's best cream cheese frosting. When a late-night intruder completely trashes the historic kitchen, the local police are quick to write it off as simple vandalism or the work of a jealous culinary rival, until they find the body. Jessica Winters and the rest of the Troublemaker Club refuse to let their favorite baker take the fall for a frozen felony. As they sift through the flour and the clues, they quickly realize the midnight thief may not have been after Dorothy's secret recipes or a wad of cash. The killer was searching for something valuable, and now they have to find out what and why. And it does continue, but we will keep moving. Okay, we got to get to everybody if we can. Bunbury, Veil of Lies. 21st in the Bunbury series by Helena Marchmont. Alfie and Emma are finally planning their big day in the idyllic Cotswold village of Bunbury. With the legendary wedding planner Elizabeth Ravensdale in charge, perfection seems guaranteed. But when a body is discovered, the dream of a flawless celebration quickly unravels. While the police are convinced they found the culprit, the Bunbury Triangle senses that something doesn't add up. Determined to uncover the truth, Alfie and his friends launch their own investigation, only to find that love isn't the only thing in the air. Can they untangle a web of secrets before a veil of lies ruins more than just the wedding day? Dating Can Be Deadly by Ryan Rivers. 4th in the Bucket List Mysteries. Sho Tanaka is trying to keep his head down. 10 months sober and shadowing a patient advocate to rebuild his career, the last thing the former ICU nurse needs is his best friend's chaotic dating festival, dragging him back into danger. But when a best-selling romance author publicly implodes on stage and is found dead hours later, killed with a centerpiece Sho helped build, his hard-won peace shatters along with the crime scene. Levi Blue is determined to put Bluebonnet Hills on the map. With a looming election and his father's haunting legacy weighing on him, the former tween TV detective has staked his mayoral reputation on a romance-themed festival to revitalize the town. But when his flagship event produces a body instead of a love connection, he pulls his reluctant partner back into the investigation before the scandal buries his political future. That is Dating Can Be Deadly. End of that row. Ray says the timing on those last two books is unfortunate. Christmas and Valentine's Day. Yet here we are in April. Indeed. I guess you don't really get to control much of your publication date. I don't know. Crema Crime Wave by Kate Montgomery. Cece Larkin, it doesn't say if it's part of a series. I'm assuming it is. Cece Larkin knows her beloved community, Palmetto Breeze, is powered by two things, strong coffee and small-town gossip. Working the counter at Azucar's coffee bar, Cece is ready for chatting with friendly regulars and perfecting that creamy layer of crema on every latte. What she didn't see brewing? A sudden crime wave that slams into downtown with the force of a hurricane. Break-ins, thefts, and vandalism targeting local businesses leave shattered glass and shaken nerves in their wake. With the town's peace cracking under the strain and the people she loves caught in the crosshairs, Cece can't resist poking around for answers. Cece teams up with her crime-solving bestie, a no-nonsense police sergeant, and a sharp-witted circle of senior sleuths to follow clues from beachfront shops to shadowy back doors, because this trouble isn't random, and Cece may be the real target. The Mystery of the China Horse by Judith Cutler, 6th in the Antique Shop Mysteries. Lena has more than enough trouble on her antique plate. With her beloved mentor Griff in hospital, she's running their little village antique shop solo, juggling restoration jobs, bills, and chancers who think she's an easy target. So when a well-spoken stranger offers her a rare China horse, Lena's instincts start to prickle. The piece is flawless. Too flawless, and the woman's story feels rehearsed. She turns the deal down. But when suspiciously similar horses start appearing across Kent, Lena realizes she's uncovered something far more dangerous than a one-off scam. Someone is flooding the market with perfect forgeries, and they'll do anything to keep the truth buried. And now Lena's on their trail. The Bloodacre Murder Mystery by Annie King, 3rd in the Cozy Crime in Cherry Creek series. Welcome back to Cherry Creek, the postcard pretty town tucked into Maryland's Green Valley, where the coffee is strong, the cake is legendary, and trouble always finds a way to crash the party. Cafe owner Emma Kirsch has one goal: win the annual Green Valley Cake Queen competition with her late mother's famous Black Forest cherry cake. But when the mayoral race turns deadly and sabotage starts creeping into every corner of town, Emma realizes someone is using the weekend celebration as cover for something far darker. As accusations fly and the pressure rises, Emma teams up with her two unforgettable senior friends, Lucy, polished and razor sharp, and Phil, blunt, brave, and impossible to rattle. Together, the trio follows a trail of secrets through packed town halls, backroom deals, and storm-soaked woods until the final round becomes more than a contest, because this time the prize is not just a crown, it is survival. Now, here's a bright, busy cover. Mai Tai Confessions by Addison Moore, second in the Coconut Confessions Hawaii Cozy Mysteries. Oh my goodness, lots and lots of. Welcome to the Coconut Palms Paradise Resort, where the Mai Tais are strong and the murder rate is surprisingly high, and apparently my love life requires a body count to kickstart things. That's kind of sick. I thought I was applying for a barista job at a cozy inn in Maine. Turns out there was a typo. Oh, this one. Or the universe has a twisted sense of humor, because now I'm managing a falling apart resort on Kauai's North Shore where the pools look like science experiments and the electrical system was apparently installed by someone who learned wiring from a cereal box. Etc., etc. Everything is going surprisingly well until I find a body in the sand during our first Mai Tai competition. Now I'm conducting a murder investigation with my two senior citizen sidekicks, dodging the advances of a grumpy but devastatingly handsome detective and trying to keep our ramshackle resort from collapsing into the ocean. Okay, fine, I'm not dodging a thing when it comes to Mr. Hot Stuff, who happens to be packing heat. But who could blame me? The man looks like he blah blah blah. Is there a crime? Yeah. Anyway, Mai Tai Confessions. I can't remember when it was, but I do remember that first one because of the main Maui typo. Seriously? He says, not too bright to pass off lots of the same forged item all around the countryside. Pretty evident that crime is afoot, indeed. And then it says, is asking how I am. I'm okay. I'm glad it's Friday. Braised Betrayal, 6 in the Burnt End Mysteries by Erica J. Welton. Oh, I have an itch in my nose. Sorry about that. Someone wanted Rod Boyd dead. Someone wanted the truth buried. They weren't counting on this tenacious family. The engagement celebration at Charlie Joe's barbecue shack barely has time to wind down before Jackie and Lauren Prescott are back in the middle of a murder investigation. This time, it's personal. When a man is found dead at Bluebonnet Hills RV Park, all eyes turn to Rod Rodriguez. He arrived the night before. He had a very public fight with the victim, and now Rod Boyd is dead. Al has an alibi, but history and proximity make him an easy target, and Jackie and Lauren aren't about to let their father take the fall for something he didn't do. For Lauren, this is a chance to protect family. For Jackie, it's more complicated. Al has been a ghost in her life for decades, and learning to trust him again is its own kind of investigation. Etc. The Purloined Letter by Erica J. Welton, 4th in the Cozy Perch Cafe Mysteries. A stolen manuscript, a silenced witness, and a past that refuses to stay buried. When a priceless botanical manuscript vanishes from the Larkspur Valley Library, Alexis Belrose suspects the theft is exactly what it appears to be, a professional job meticulously planned. But when the librarian who witnessed the break-in turns up dead, it becomes something far more dangerous. Running the Cozy Perch Cafe with her opinionated cats, oh dear, Alexis has spent 2 years keeping her head down and her secrets close. She is a witch in hiding, and Larkspur Valley is the closest thing to safety she has ever known. The last thing she needs is to draw attention to herself. But Bobby Barlow deserved better than a quiet death and a cold case file, and Alexis cannot let that stand. Midsummer Marriage and Murder, second in the Hooga House Cozy Mysteries. I looked it up. By A.L. Jensen. The wedding was perfect. The body ruined everything. Interior designer turned amateur sleuth Mina Hallinan has finally hit her stride. Hooga House is thriving, and she and business partner Christy Anderson are pulling out all the stops for Lakewood's most anticipated wedding, a dreamy midsummer celebration with Nordic feasting, a lakeside bonfire, and flower-strewn gardens glowing in the golden northern light. Then the groom's favorite uncle vanishes before the rehearsal dinner. When Mina finds Uncle Rick slumped lifeless in a Muskoka chair, it's clear this wasn't just a man who wanted to skip the speeches. His last message was cryptic. His reasons for avoiding the wedding, it turns out, were very good ones. With a grieving family, a rattled bride and groom, and her business reputation on the line, Mina must once again trade her decorator's instincts for detective work before a killer slips away under the cover of Midsummer Night. The Fish and Chip Shop Detectives by Jenny Kane, first in that series of the same name. Maggie Tyson loves living in the utterly charming village Mousehole. This looks like a Cornish village. She spends her days walking the local coastal paths, solving the latest crossword puzzle, and working in the small town's only fish and chip shop. Looking for a fresh start, Ryan Stepney is in desperate need of a job and stumbles across a vacancy at the chip shop. When a body is found by the harbor, shock ripples through the village, and as Ryan was the last person seen talking to the victim, he becomes the #1 suspect in the investigation. Maggie is certain that her new colleague had nothing to do with the murder, so swaps her apron for a magnifying glass and starts to investigate herself. Can Maggie prove Ryan's innocence and reel in the killer before they strike again? End of that row. Mary, how are you liking the Dan Brown? And Elena says, indeed. And how was your day at the Friends of the Library? Inquiring minds want to know. Dead Quiet at the Cabin by Tessa Ora, 9th in the Maggie Wright Cozy Mystery Series. A man is found dead in a rental cabin in the isolated woods. Dead quiet. No witnesses, no explanation, no easy answers. Private investigator Maggie Wright finds a body, cryptic notes, and no clue as to who the victim is or who wanted him gone in this gripping cozy mystery. Haunted by the past and convinced old secrets never stay buried, Maggie can't shake the feeling that this murder is tied to the shadow in the woods, dangerously unfinished. With her partner Harper at her side and her sharp-nosed dog Biscuit on alert, this female PI follows a trail that leads in many troubling directions. Was the killer an enraged contractor with a violent temper, a business owner protecting his livelihood, or a stranger lurking around the cabins with reasons no one has uncovered yet? Because the biggest threat isn't hiding in the woods. It's the one Maggie refuses to see, and getting closer. And I forgot to click on it, so we'll give it its moment. She says, I'm liking it, but I've been surprised at the writing redundant in places, which surprises me. Yeah, that happens. It's sad. I read one, it was released on Tuesday, that also had like repetitions enough that it pulled me out going, didn't we just say that? Didn't we just read that somewhere? It needed editing for sure. And it was only like 140 pages. Like, come on. And I wanted more there. That's just me. But I do have that Dan Brown. I will get to it. Yellowstone to Death. Cotton Rose book number 1 by Casey Bellinger. Oh dear. In the backwoods of rural Montana, Cotton Rose lives a quiet life. No internet. Oh, come on. No indoor plumbing. Oh, be serious. The most exciting part of her day involves feeding chickens and scaring bears out of her garden until her high school boyfriend Toby Quentin shows up needing help to solve a murder in Yellowstone. The last thing Cotton wants to do is assist the no-good cheater, but she has a soft spot for his brother, Cameron, who was the last person to see the victim alive. The Quentin family believes supernatural forces are at fault and asks Cotton and her clairvoyant grandmother, Sophie, for help. Reluctantly, Cotton agrees to travel to Yellowstone, but Nana Sophie disappeared months ago. Can Cotton solve the case alone, or will her lack of ghostly knowledge and sassy mouth lead to her demise? And it's only 132 pages, so apparently it's not that complicated. Oh, I'm just being snarky. I don't like books set in Montana that think we don't have the internet. Moving on. Mary said, had a good volunteer time yesterday. Good. Met two very interesting people and had nice conversations with both of them. Sold $18 worth of books. Awesome. Kirsten says, good morning. Happy Friday. Hello. Happy Friday. Mary says, hi, Kirsten. Claws of Deception. Oh, we gotta go fast here. Second Chance Rescue Cozy Mystery Book number 3 by Lucy Higgins. A routine property dispute becomes deadly when a town historian is found murdered among stolen land records. Oh, for goodness sake. That's all I'm giving it. Moving on. Death Through a Lens by Sam Oman. 5th in a Judith Spears mystery. Aim, Frame, Shoot. In the sleepy village of Little Picton, where the loudest scandal is usually an overbaked Victoria sponge at the church fete, murder is most dreadfully inconvenient. When a local photographer is found dead, Detective Sarah Eastley and Raymond Collins are called in to save the day. But as ever, nothing is as it seems, and Judith Spears is needed for her unconventional take on events as secrets, they spelled it wrong, are revealed and motives are questioned. End of that row. One more. We did Deadly Sin on Monday because I love that series and wanted to showcase it. X marks the Merlot by Lynn Joseph, 8th in the Mermaid Bay Wine Mysteries. I've not read these, but I've always liked the covers for some reason. Noelle Knight always knew Black Caesar's treasure was out there. Now she has the coordinates to prove it. When a pirate-themed scavenger hunt for a legendary Merlot launches across the Florida Keys, it's the perfect cover for Noelle and Finn to follow the trail her father mapped years ago. Sun, sea, wine, and buried treasure. What could go wrong? A murder. That's what. All right, that is it. Look at that. We got through all of those. All right. Mary says, thank you. Great to see everyone. Hope everyone has a great weekend. And thanks so much. Well, back at you, baby. Thank you so much. You guys are good friends. I appreciate you keeping me company. Thank you for people who watch later. Thank you for watching now. Quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Friday night. Our next sprints are tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Goes for 5 hours. If I don't see you, have a very good Easter weekend. Be safe, be warm or cool wherever you are, where the country's weather is happening to you. Read good books. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Om nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.